that. So again, this tale of two worlds. We want to pursue this a little bit more. We got Shama Hyder here of Zen Media, the CEO there. Thomas Hayes back with us, the chairman and managing partner, Great Hill Capital. Thomas, on Boeing, if you'll indulge me a little bit on this, this idea that workers reject a 35% pay hike. Now, the devil's in the details. I'm not aware of all the details. That's a big pay hike to turn down. I'm just wondering if you're a corporate boss anywhere else, let's say of a large union workforce, does that get you nervous?
Yeah, Neil, I think the IMA, the union for Boeing workers, may be overplaying their hand here. So far, they're paying the workers $250 a week to strike. These are six-figure jobs. They've already gone through about $41 million. They only have $300 million total, and Boeing workers are only 6% of the union. So basically, you've seen a situation where they've eroded 13% of the union's assets, 530,000 members, in just a handful of weeks. Within 31.5 weeks, they will be down to $0 of assets. They started at 300, they're down to 260. Boeing, on the other hand, can tap the public markets anytime they want and raise $10 billion, $20 billion, and wait this thing out for 10 months, 20 months if need be. And I think from an investor standpoint, Neil, we just have to step back. They've got a $500 billion backlog over the next 10 years. They've got to deliver thousands of planes, 6,200 plane backlog. So Boeing's going to be just fine. Look, we were in the market adding to our position like crazy this morning. We did think 35% was extremely generous. Boeing started at 25%. The union wanted 40%. Boeing came up to 35%. They're rejecting. I think some of these workers are going to find themselves as part of the next 17,000 worker cut that Boeing recently announced they had to do, and they may be overplaying. They're looking for a 40% raise, but they may get a 100% pay reduction.
Yeah, we forget about that 10% of the workforce, 17,000, your point, who are going to lose their jobs, and more could happen after this. We'll see how that plays out. Shama, now back to the better story of the day, and that is Tesla. The stock is soaring about 20%. It surprised a lot of folks on the upside and put the Magnificent back in the Magnificent Seven, I guess, but not all of them are going along for the ride. What do you make of the significance of what Tesla reported?
I'm thrilled, Neil, and I will tell you, I'm bullish on both Boeing and Tesla, going through very different challenges. But, you know, they've got very interesting leaders at the helm, so I look at that. And one of my fun hacks is to actually look at LinkedIn and see what employees are saying. And you can really see the energy in Tesla employees. You know, they shipped their 7 millionth vehicle recently. And so I think it's to be expected. I do not bet against Elon Musk. I think he knows what he's doing. And you can just see how excited the people are. And so much of this does come down to people and vibes.
You know, if I'm Elon Musk, I'm excited too, because I'm the world's richest human being. I'd be happy and dancing on stages myself. But leaving that aside, you know, Thomas, I'm curious about Tesla. And what is remarkable here is that the government guarantees and checks you get to buy an EV, they've shrunk considerably. And so a lot of those Tesla sales are what they call naked sales. In other words, without any benefits or any, you know, government incentives here. What do you make of that?
Well, speaking of naked, Neil, the naked short sellers got hammered this morning, that's for sure, in the Tesla stock. So you never want to bet against Elon Musk. I think that's the idea of a government subsidy. They want to promote a specific ideology, a specific method, a specific technology. So they have to subsidize it because it's uneconomic in the nascent years. And now that it's gaining mainstream adoption, it is getting a leg of its own. You don't see it across all the car manufacturers. You know, I've always been skeptical. I've said, I'm not sure people want EVs, but I do think they want Teslas. There's something special about Tesla when it comes to EVs, and I think that's going to continue as he rolls out refreshed models, more affordable models for the masses. I think he's got legs.
Let me pursue that with you, Shama, and what it might say about technology, because one thing that's been you know, beneath the surface is we used to have those 7 tech stocks. I'll throw Tesla into that camp. It's more than an automaker. And all the others in the S&P 500. Now it's the S&P 493 that are doing quite well, as are the tech stocks. So how do you play that going forward?
Yeah, I think, listen, and I apologize for anyone who gets this song stuck in their head, but it's like, the grease is a word, it's a feeling. That's AI, right? That's automation. That song's been playing in my head all day, but that's really what we're seeing. And so I'm really bullish. I mean, I'm bullish on, we haven't even seen this, but Meta and, just look at all the things that it takes to power that AI, right? So you're talking semiconductors, you're talking supply chain, you're talking manufacturing. I'm very excited. I think this year ends really on a high note.
Shama, I'm old enough to remember that song. There's no way in heck that you can be. Or Tom, that guy in the box next to you. But we'll see, because, grease and just buying tech is the word. Guys, thank you both very much. Do appreciate it. Again, we'll follow this sort of disparate direction on these two key stocks. But I thought we'd zero in on these folks because maybe that is emblematic of this market. They're the gainers and they're the losers. Robert Kiyosaki says the stocks themselves are getting a little pricey at these levels here.